I have been doing a lot of work in the garden lately and I have lots to catch you up on. So I'm going to share some of the new fruit trees that I have added to my collection, some things that I have removed, changed, and some seeds that I've started, and something really exciting, something that's been on my list for a long time and really step up my sustainability in the garden. So let's get started. So it's time to give my Feijoa trees a prune. I probably should have done this already, but I'm actually really glad I held off because now I have my own mulcher, so I can run all of that prunings through that and I can use that as mulch. Previously I have just been doing chop and drop, where I just prune off the branches, chop them up as small as I can be bothered, and then pop them under the tree to break down and release nutrients back into the garden. So this food forest style garden, I try to keep everything here in this garden. I don't take anything away, so all the prunings go back in, the lawn clippings go back in, and that's what helps feed and nourish this garden. So the main reason I want to prune this Feijoa is because of the size. It grows quite quickly and it will probably add another third worth of growth on top of it, which will just be too big for me to maintain and even be able to harvest the fruit. And I want to try and keep all my fruit within, easy picking reach. So it's time to give it a haircut before it starts putting on a flush of new growth in spring. It's finished fruiting. It's in a little bit of a quiet stage at the moment. So what I think I'm going to do is prune off some of the bottom to just open it up a little bit, and then I will thin out some of the branches and then maybe take about a third off the top as well, and just from the sides, because it is starting to bush out and really take up a lot of that space. And my poor lemon tree in the corner is getting a little bit overgrown, so I'm just going to make a bit more space for that and make some mulch for my garden. Okay, it's looking a little bit thinner. So now I'm going to mulch this lot that I've got cut and turn that into wood chips and then put around the trees and feed them. And thanks to EcoFlow for the battery that I can recharge using renewable energy, using the sun, to then power my mulcher, and I don't have to use any cords out here in the garden. I've pretty much had a continuous crop of citrus from April through to August, so I'm really happy with this. And my lemonade is already bursting into flowers, and that is the first one to start producing. So happy. I've got this big bowl of fruit from the trees. So we've got the last of the mandarins, one lonely lime from the very sassy lime tree, some blood oranges, the Hawaiian guavas, and the a rogue lemon from cutting the lemon tree, and the kumquats, a winter fruit haul. I am shattered from all of the trimming, and I still have heaps to do. I think this is going to be a few day project. Alright, so in here in this bucket I have a whole bunch of coffee grounds that I've collected from my local cafe, and I'm putting these on my garden, one to help ward off slugs and snails. It's working really well as a bit of a natural pest management, and also I've noticed that my garden out here the pH is off. So I did a bit of testing and it's a little bit too high, and I've tested out these coffee grounds and they're a little bit acidic, so I'm going to add some of these to the garden to help try and balance out the pH in the soil so that my trees can be able to absorb all the nutrients from the mulch that I'm going to put on. Pellet planter gardens are thriving, they're looking very lush. So let's take a quick look. We've got some sprouting broccoli in here, celery, chard, some little bush beans down here, radishes all in between, these delicious peas climbing up, and some purple beans, pineapple. I pruned all the asparagus and it shot back up, so I'm just letting it do its thing. The goji berry is sprouting all new growth, and my apricot as well is just about to burst into flower. Some lettuce that I'm letting go to seed, some more brassicas in here. My poor papaya did not like this cold weather, so not happy. We've got some more brassicas and some more lettuce shooting up here. I was gifted these bulbs. These are gladioli, so I'm giving those a go. And we've got the Cape Gooseberry. Okay, so these are my newbies. Some of them aren't new, I've just potted them up, but let's take a look at what I've got. Alright, so this is the start of my fig collection. This is a cutting from someone, and it is a really old green fig variety, so not sure what that one is like. This one again was a cutting gifted, and apparently is a purple variety. This one I purchased a little while ago, and that is the tiger stripe fig, so I'm very excited for that. This one I got recently, and it's a mystery one, so it was discounted to $10 because the labels have come off, so we're not sure what this one is, which I actually really love. I'm all about a mystery surprise. And this one is the Black Adam fig. So that's a late season fig, and then I've also got a Williams, which is a mid-season fig, a green one, and a black one. So I freshly potted those up in a bigger pot, ready to go. They're just about to wake up soon. These ones have already started, so I wonder if that one's going to be an early season. I wanted to get a range of different ones. I also finally decided on which grape varieties I want for the front yard, and I've only been able to find one so far, so I have picked that one up, and it's a Perlet grape. So this is a green table grape, and apparently it grows really vigorously and produces a quick vine, which is what I want because I'm using it mainly as a shade cover for my summer veggie garden. So I've got that, and I've got my eye on another black grape, so we'll see if I can find that. I planted a few seeds, so I've got some pumpkin, some gold kiwi fruit that I just got from a store-bought kiwi fruit, some Rosa Bianca eggplant, some strawberry seeds, and then all of these ones here. What have we got? Cucuzza, butterfly pea, pumpkin, mini gourd, no, lots of reusing, Indian gooseberry, and some heliconias, which are not edible, but they look beautiful. So just a little selection of seeds to get started. It's quite early for me, but I want to get some of these vine growing ones that I can get started really quickly because I want to create as much shade as I can for summer. And this is the end result. It looks a little bit bare, a little bit naked. I do miss my lush garden, but I know it's going to bounce back really quickly. It's already shooting off, and I've been able to feed the trees with all those mulch clippings, so it's going to be amazing. And also obviously took me a little bit of time, so it's another reason that I really do want to keep these trees low and more manageable. The other thing that I did is I removed one of my trees. So this was where my elderflower was, my elderberry, and I'd been thinking about moving it or removing it for a while, and I just got stuck in and I did it. So it came out, and in went my pomegranate. So it's a deciduous fruit tree, and it's just starting to wake up now. The leaves are starting to come on, but I'm really looking forward to having another deciduous fruit tree in here to really open it up and let more light in winter. Yeah. The mulberry got a big haircut too. And isn't this incredible? Just from pruning my mulberry, I've collected all of these prunings to root and get these as cuttings. So I've got all of these new mulberry fruit trees just from pruning my tree. So my mulcher is only a small one, and luckily my fruit trees are still quite small, so I didn't have too many big branches that I had to deal with, but I did definitely notice some trees were better to mulch than others. The guavas were the best, the feijoas were alright, but the mulberry is quite a soft bendy wood, and it kind of just got smushed. It didn't cut up as easily, so it more so just squished down. So the feijoa definitely looks pretty sparse now that it's cut, but it's already starting to send off some new buds. So it won't be long until it sends off a flush of new growth and will be back as a screen cover. And now the lemon has some more room in there. I pruned off a bunch of the side stuff here. I didn't prune this feijoa as much because it wasn't very large in size, so I'm happy for this one to continue growing. It's growing a lot slower than the other one, so I didn't prune this one too much. I just sort of cleared up under the bottom here and along the fence line. So there's some new growth on the guava coming through now. And down here I wanted to prune these branches off because they're really low on the ground, but I thought, why not give air layering a go before I chop them off? So I'm just doing a bit of an experiment with that and seeing if I can get some roots to form in here, and a new plant from this rather than just cutting it off. My gardens are an experiment. I love trying new things and I love learning. So it's always a work in progress in this garden. Even when I think it's finished, I remove things and plant new things. So it's an ever evolving thing, and I love that about gardening. And don't be afraid to move things, to take things out if they don't spark joy, if they're not working for you. Especially when you're limited on space like I am.